Is Eric with us? Jeff? Oh yeah, thank you very much, Eric, for that. So guys, for those who are already here, welcome to today's online session. This is part two of BAM with Jeff, our very own member. Um, uh, we as People Club, we part of our aim is to impact our members with skills that are used in the industrial world, so that we have engineers who can be able to fit in into the industry. Because at the end of the day, what we are doing is not is we are doing okay. We are learning engineering, trying to build a society. So we need to have skills that are relevant to the industrial world. So that's why we hold these sessions once after every 2 weeks, and we also hold them depending on requests from our members. So today we'll be having BM with Jeff. So I'm hoping that you will benefit from this session, and that beyond what we're doing here, that you will take the effort to at least to grow your skills as far as BAM is concerned. So for the guys who will watch this recording, feel free to enjoy. Okay, yeah, Jeff, we can start. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning once again, guys. Thank you for coming. And previously, we had the first session of building information modeling, and I can see new guys like Zena. There's also Eric there, and because like we did the first session, and now we shift to the second session of it. So don't feel like it's going to be hard or anything. But I'm just going to also keep it as simple as possible, because now in this session we want to start extracting information from our model, because initially whatever that we did was mostly about modeling, and we did more how to do modeling. We learned how to place walls to your building. We also looked at how to place different components. We had system components. We also had elements. I'm also going to talk about the difference of those two. Yeah. So once again, as Greg has said, I'm Jeff, second year biosystems engineering student, and my passion to learning building information modeling dates back to, I gave this history back the first time when we were doing the first session. Yeah. So my interest when it comes to Revit and Bim dates back when I was in first year, and I had this cool software. There was a time we were at KU's amphitheater. Then there was a certain guy who came to talk about building information modeling, and I happened to attend that session. And one thing that really resonated or actually captured my thoughts was this cool software, Revit, the ability that it has to do mind-blowing things. Like, for example, you're building a building, and then as you are doing your construction, you are able to calculate the cost. It's able to calculate for you the cost, so you are able even to do some optimization, because let's say you are doing this project for a client, and he has given you like how much like he thinks that the building can cost. So you really need to know those things in advance. You are also able to do some energy analysis for your building. You are able to, because you usually place your, let's say, your HVAC systems, the heating, ventilation and air conditioning units to your building, the heating of the house. You are even able to do analysis of your building, that after completion, let's say whoever will be living in that building, how much is it going to cost him or her in 1 month. Yeah. So, and when it comes to Beam, Beam has different stages. We talked about 3D. There's 3D where we defined it. It's mostly about modeling. Then we had 4D initially, where we talk of 4D being adding information to your project that mainly focuses on the construction cost sequencing, like how the building is it's rising, like floor after floor and all of those stuff. Then there is 5D now. That's where now we look at more on the cost. Then there's also 6D, but we are not going to look at 6D. Our focus today is going to be on cost, crash, and energy analysis. Yeah, so if you allow me quickly to jump into the software, let me try to change to stop sharing this so that I can share the other screen. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen from your end. Kindly confirm for me.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, so during the first we did all of those, most of these things, but maybe for the new members, I can give a quick recap on, let's say, how you design some or you draw something like a wall, on how you place, let's say, um, the the doors, like for example, these are doors and these are windows here. Quickly, a quick recap for like 5 minutes. So, like this model here, I have the aim of Revit and any other BIM tool is usually to make your workflows easier. And I also explained there's a difference between CAD and the building information modeling tools and BIM, in the sense that uh, BIM tools are more, we can define them as advanced CAD, in the sense that, like, let's say you are doing the design of a wall in Fusion 360 or AutoCAD or anything. For you to get a 3D model, you have to first of all create a profile for it, like a rectangle for the wall. Then you do the extrusion, which is tiresome, but in this case you just select whatever you want to do. Like for example, if it's a wall, you just click on wall command there, and it's asking me to save. I did not save this one. This one I can call them part, let's say part two. mm, Part two of Beam. Let me save it on my desktop. Yeah, all right. It's going to take some time to save, but once it's done, huh? Yeah. So here you just need only to select, like for example, if I select something like a wall coming from, let's say, this point to somewhere there and there. Now you just click, and then what the workflow inside the Beam or any other, you usually do most of your designing in floor plans. And here we usually have two windows. We have this one on the left hand side. This is your properties browser. So the properties browser, when it usually shows you the property of every element. Let's say, for example, when I selected the wall there, you see immediately it switches to show me the properties of the wall. It also has what is known as a type selector. So like for example, where I'm hovering my cursor there, if I click there on that, it gives me the drop down where you are able to select different types of walls that you can use, different thicknesses, like there's the generic 5 inch, there's the brick wall. We're also going to look at uh, how to calculate the number of bricks for your entire building. Yeah, we'll look at that. Uh, Kindly hold on. So you can choose different types of walls. We also have curtain walls. So curtain walls are those walls that they have glasses. Like for those who have gone to Chandaria, or you see those walls. So we have storefront, they have glasses, all this, and we have stacked walls. So stack walls are those walls with different layers, different layer finishes. For example, you can see that your outside is made of brick, then inside you have your thermal insulation material, then uh, stacked on top, and then outside you have, say like your plastering and all of those stuff. Yeah, so that is about the pro the properties browser. And then on your right hand side, that's where you have your project browser. So your project browser is able to give you navigation to different floors. Like for example, here we have the floor plans, level 1 and level 2. It has 2 levels. Those levels, you can see them from different elevations. We also have elevation east, north. Like for example, these triads that you are seeing here, these ones are for your elevations. Like for example, this is, I can call it the east or west. So this is the east, the north, the south, and the west on the others. No, this is the east, this is the west, depending. So like for example, if I double click on the east elevation, so you are able to look at now those walls that we created. Yeah, they are these ones. Yeah, and then you can see that from your elevation, whenever you create them, they kind of extend beyond level 2 to above level 2. Yeah, so you are able to see them from different elevation and also in 3 dimension. Let's say for example, they have gone really far up. So to take them to level 2, what you do, you come, because you have selected them at once, so you expect your properties browser to display the properties of those walls. Like, so you need to put constraints. For example, where these words, they are coming from level 1 here. So that's the reason why the base constraint is set to level 1. So the top constraint currently is unconnected, meaning that it can go as far as it wants, but in this case we need to control that and take it to level 2. So when you click on level 2, it goes down and flashes with that level there. So this is about levels. I also explained how you create levels, how you can create. So how to create level, you just come here on your ribbon under the architectural tab, you have what is known as the level here. So you click on level, and that command is selected. Now you can move, and when you move to the end of the already existing levels, it kind of snaps, and then you drag, and then you create your level like that. And then to cancel out of the command, like because you selected level, you need to click escape twice or cancel twice. Yeah, and now this is our level 3 here. We also need to, because we just did the placing, so we need to do the dimensioning. Like for example, when you click it, it gives you we call these temporary dimensions. And we have temporary dimensions, and we have the other one, which are we call them permanent. So temporary dimensions come with these dotted lines. We call them witness lines. Now, so here you just click on that temporary dimension, and then you are able to enter your dimension. Like you want it to be the same distance. Like for example, from level 1 to level 2, it's 33, 48. So we can also say that from level 2 to level 3 to be also the same dimension, which is 30, 40, 48, and then you click enter, and then it moves up a little bit there. All right, that's about how you create levels. We looked at this, but that's levels and about the project browser, how you can navigate. And then sometimes, let's say you want to look at the building, how it looks in 3 dimensions. So you come here on top, there is this house icon here, the default house 3D view. So it gives you how your building or house looks in 3 dimensions. And you, because now this is in wireframe setting, you here at the bottom here we have what is known as the visibility, the visibility icons. Like they only affect, they only make changes with respect to the view that you are currently in. Like for example, we want to make it realistic. So when you click on this second icon from your left side here, we, it gives you, like currently it's wireframe, you can change it to shaded or you can change it to realistic. Once you do that, it will do some rendering. Now that's how it looks. That's the realistic view. All right, so like there are those walls that we created here, and we didn't do anything like extrusion or anything. The only thing we just did there was to select a wall. You can also draw these walls even if you are in this 3D view, but if let's say you click there and you start dragging, you can see it coming like that. You can, but it's not good to do it in 3 dimensions, because these things, whenever let's say you come to top view, you can see now this wall how it looks like. Yeah, we wanted it to come to and flash with this face here, but the best way to do it where you have the best view is from your top view. Yeah, so okay, now uh, I think that's it. And we also looked at how to place things like doors, the things like, for example, indoors you need to go to one of your floor plans, let's say level 1 there, and there are these walls that we created here. So for our door, you just come back here to the architecture tab, then you click door, and then you can load a family, or sometimes for it usually comes with a default loaded family. uh, the default is usually this single flash, but sometimes it it doesn't look really nice to you. You just shift and you look for. So let me explain the two. So like for the single flash, which usually is the default one, so once you have selected your wall here and the properties changes to the door, you click on the type selector here where I'm hovering my cursor. Then you can select the different size that you want. You can use the 36 by 84 inch, that is 36 inches wide and 84 inches tall. So you select like the biggest one there. And one thing here, we talked about different types. So a door is usually a wall host element, meaning that it needs a wall. You can't just place a door freestanding in empty space. So like for example, my cursor is in an empty space here, so I can, and it's the cursor stands to this warning symbol here, so meaning that you can't place it. Anytime you come near to a wall, you can see now it gives you the display of the wall, so you can just click there, and once you do the clicking, it creates a cutout, it cuts that wall and puts that door there. You can, okay, we can't not put two doors here, but that's how you do usually place the doors there. And you can click cancel twice to escape out of that command. So if you go to 3D now, that door is here. That's where we did the placing there. Yeah, that's about placing doors. You do the same to your windows. You just come to the window and you do the same thing. Same to the elements that you might need for your house. like for instance, the tables, the sinks, the HVAC systems. Yeah, so you do the same thing, but now because now we have, as I explained, we have two different families. We have system families and we have component families. So system families are the ones that are already hard coded into the program, like for example, the walls, the doors, the windows, the columns. When you come to the structure, we also have the beams, the trusses, the braces, the beam systems, and the rebars and all of those stuff. So those ones we call them system families. We also have component families. And to load component families, we have this icon here. So you just click the down arrow and then place a component. So those are component families. So component families are things like your desk, your chairs, and all of those stuff. Like for instance, there's this desk by default, it comes loaded with it. So you can select that one and you can come and place it anywhere that you want inside your building, like that, as many as you want. And there are others which are already loaded here, but as I said, if you need more, you can come here, click load family, and then move back move back a couple of steps, and depending on the units that you are working. Let's say if you are working on inches and feet, so you use the US Imperial system families, component families. But let's say mostly like here in Africa or Europe, usually like working in metric systems. So move move back by clicking the back arrow or even the preview uh, folder here. And then we usually have the generic, we have the US Imperial, and we have the US metric. So when you double click, because I'm working in metrics, in millimeters, so here you can come and you have these folders here which you can load into your project. Like say for example, we wanted furniture, so you come the folder for furniture there, double click, you can come to the settings here, and then we have different kinds of settings here. Like so when you click, let's say for the first one, which is the bench rocker room, once you click it, it also gives you a preview of how it looks on the other side. So you can use your arrow keys on your keyboard, yeah, the four arrow keys to move up and down, so that it also gives you the preview of whatever that you want. So like you don't need to design these things like the software set or anything that from zero, but it also has an ability to do that. And we will look at that maybe later, how you can also model these components from scratch using also on Revit. Also, there's sometimes there are people who have already done this. There are people who have also modeled these settings. So usually there's a website. There's a If you go to Revit City, if you type Revit City, you are able to get other types of families which you can download and use it to your project. But these ones that you see here, they come by default with the software itself. Let's say like this software here, we can click that one, open, and now what's doing currently, it's loading into our project now here. And then once it comes, let's say you want to rotate it, when you want to rotate it. So for rotating, you are loaded, you use your tab key, yeah, You- not your tab key but your space bar. So you click space bar once and you can see it rotates to any orientation that you want. So once you have the perfect orientation, you can just come and place it where you want it to be placed, like that, as you go forth. And there you can rotate it like that, and that, and here you can even click there. So once, even if you place it the wrong way, you don't need to panic or even to delete it. So after placing like this one, I want it to face upward, so you just click on it, and then it gives you these arrows here, so you can click on them to rotate either side, but you can use your space bar key to That one is not working, but it can only rotate it twice, so we can just delete it, and then you place it the way that you want. All right, so that's about the components. I think that is clear, and so I really didn't wanted to go there, but it's good our new members to get this, and even for those who missed the first session. Yeah, and when we go to 3D now, you can see them there, how they are looking like. All right, so sometimes this is something I also didn't say it in the first session. Let's say you are building, let's say a multi-story building. This is now the ground floor, and then you want to to make a duplicate of the same thing on the first floor. Yeah. So the first thing you will need here, you will need to create, let's say, a slab on top here, that will host the first floor. Yeah. So what you do, you just come to your level 2 there, and we also discussed about uh, how to create floors. So on how to create a floor. So under the architecture, so you have the floor there. So the floor exists either usually exists on both sides. We have it has it is there in the architecture. It's also there under the structural tab. Under the structural tab, we call it a slab. Yeah, they both perform the same functionality, but there's a slight difference. So the structural engineers in the house, they know what a slab is. So so how to create a floor. So here, once you click it, your window, everything. So like once you have selected also a command, everything, because we selected the floor, everything under the architectural is usually grayed out, meaning that you can't perform anything here, but it's usually grayed out. So the only things that you can perform, so and the tab usually shifts to the modify or create here. So under the modify here, we can quickly create the the flow. So there are many ways you can sketch it, or you can also or alternatively you can use the already existing geometries. Like for example, we have the peak wall here. We also have the peak lines. There are lines here, so you can do anything that you want. There's freedom. So once you click the peak wall here, um, let's say you want to offset the extension of your floor outside from your already existing wall. So here there's usually an option to offset. You can enter any dimension there. You can enter, let's say a half a meter, which is 50 millimeter, 500 millimeters. Click enter. So once you do that, and anytime you hover your cursor, it also gives you the preview, the dotted line there, those witness lines. They show you that your floor will be extended outside. So once you click there, it offsets outside. So click that wall there also, like that, like that, like that. It makes your work so easier. This is why I usually love Revit for some of the projects that they do. And then there are these lines here. We also need to explain what these are. So these are, we call them the span directions, in the sense that sometimes you see, whenever you create a floor, you need, for structural engineers, they will need to put things like the rebars, yeah, for reinforcing this. It's not just an architect will just put, let's say, a plain floor like that, but a structural will come to put the things like now the rebars. So these ones usually show the direction. Whenever you place your rebars, I'm also going to show you how you place your rebars. We did talk about that, but we will look at it. So these ones, they tell you that what they are showing you, that your rebars, they will run across this direction, they run horizontally. But let's say you want to change the direction in which they span, you can come click on span direction here, then you can click on this one. You see now those, they are taken to this direction. No, now they will span vertically. Yeah, those about span direction. And sometimes, so low, now here you have created your flow, but now if you cancel, you click on finish, if you click on the tick icon here, it gives you these errors. Yeah, so this is like when you do your coding. Now it's the errors here, it's telling you I did that uh, voluntarily because there's something, yeah, you will also encounter them. So it's telling you that lines cannot intersect each other. The highlighted lines currently intersect. You see the orange lines here, they are intersecting with each other. They are intersecting with each other here. So here you need to, so, and then you cannot continue if you have not, you need to correct that. So if you click on continue, it returns you back to the sketch mode where you need to trim this extension here. So there's, under the modify, we have this cool icon here that's known as the trim and extend to corner. So you click that, you click the first line, then you click the second line. It will cut anything that is beyond the extension there. And then the same thing here. So you click on this one and then you click on that one. Yeah. So it trims for you, to cut them like that. All right, so those were the errors. Once you are done, you click on finish. Now would you, so once you do click on finish, then it will ask you, would you like the walls to go up to the floor levels to attach to the bottom? So you can click on yes, and once you are done with that, you can go to 3D and look at that. That's our floor there. Yeah, that's how you do it. And sometimes you can even if, let's say, it's too thick, you can just click it. This one is 12 inches in thickness. You can now modify the thickness here. From here, you can use different kinds of floors. You can select. They're different. Like the we can even use this one with a finishing. It has a wood trash joist with a carpet finish. So if you click that, it will update, and you see it has a carpet finishing there. So you don't need to delete, you can just click it and then you edit, do some editing there. So that's about the floors, and the aim was, now we wanted to duplicate the ground. Let's say you are doing a story building. So to do that, just click on the cube here. So we want to copy the ground floor to our first floors, and then just select everything. And you see now what it has done, it has selected the furnitures that we placed inside, it has selected even our levels. Yeah, but now we want specific things. We wanted to copy the walls and the components that are already the walls, the windows, and the components that we placed to our first floor. But in this case, everything is highlighted in blue, meaning that it has selected even our levels. And if you, so there's usually a command on filtering. So you just select and usikuwe na wari ama kutense. So come here on top here under the modify, we have the filter where it currently you can see the ticked icons. It has selected the doors, the floors, the furnitures, the levels, and all of those stuff. So uncheck. So uncheck everything, and then you can tick whatever you want to copy. So we want our windows, we want the walls, we don't need the levels, we need the furnitures, we need the floor. We don't need the floor because that floor is already existing there, so we don't need to copy it. So we leave it unchecked, and also the doors. So once you have checked whatever that you wanted, so click on apply and then select OK. Now, if you look carefully here, you can see that your wall, your floor is gray. It has done a return to, meaning that it's not selected. Now, once you have done your selection, come here and under the copy, click copy, and then now you can paste it to, and then under the option of pasting here, we have the drop down here, and then now you can paste to the selected levels. So like we want to paste it to level what? We want to paste that to, because this is level 1, we want to paste it to level 2. So once you click on level 2, or you can even paste it twice, so it will give you like a 3-story building, but we want a 2-story. So level 2 there, click OK, and what it will does, look at that, it has copied. If we go to home icon there, now you can see we have our story building there. So it's a copy of whatever that we have at the bottom. So you don't need to this is how you build, let's say, a story building like that, because sometimes you realize that the geometries, they look similar. Yeah. And then yeah, you can delete some things. If let's say you want to change EKV different apaju, you can delete some words and then you modify like that. All right. Now, we have created our floors, so we need an access, whatever that you will use to go to this floor plan here, to the first floor. You will need a staircase, and you see now, because and then our floor here doesn't have an opening. So let me quickly show you how you create a staircase, and you don't need to do anything like so big. It's a no-brainer actually. So go back to your level 1. So click on level 1, and then what we need to, once you come into this building, we need a staircase that will begin, let's say, at the corner of this wall here, spanning like this, and it has a landing near this window, and then you walk with it upwards. So to do that, and under the architectural tab, we have the stair command there. So click on stair. Once you do that, it takes you to the modify of the creating stairs. Now here by default it comes with the assembled staircase here, but mostly I prefer using the monolithic stair, because we have the monolithic, we also have the precast stair. The precast stair doesn't have the railings, but the good thing about the monolithic, it has the railing, so you can click the monolithic stair there, and there are different options here to do the sketching, but by default it's this, the first one here, whereby once you do that, under the properties here, we have the base level, so meaning that it's starting from level 1, which is our ground floor, and then the top level, it's level 2. The top level, it will span from ground to level 2, and then uh, Revit is intelligent enough to even tell you the number of steps, the risers that you will need from level 1 to level 2. It has calculated from the levels that we set, and it tells us each of the thread or the riser. The riser is that nini, it's that from one step to another one. It's 304 millimeters. But sometimes, let's say if let's say we change here the desired number to be, let's say, 20, what it will do, will will update, but we can just leave it by default to be 18, and then we can now come and sketch it. So we want it to start from this point, so, and then you drag. So when you do the dragging, it also shows you the numbers that have already been created. Like for instance, it has 7 risers created. So we have created 7, we have the remaining, which is 11. So, but in this case, we want them to be equally distributed. We want 9, 9. So we can drag, you can just drag without clicking. Once we have 9 there, just click, then you span, you move away from it. So by moving away, what it will be doing, it will create the landing. The landing is that, you know, the landing, it's that platform where you rotate it, it's flat. Yeah. So there, click there, it will create. Now you see now the landing behind there, and then you can drag it like that. That's our stairs. It's coming this way up like this. Now if I click on finish there, and it has reminded me to save the project. All right, once you click on finish, that's our staircase there, but we want it to be not not to start in the middle here. It would be best if it's kind of flashing with this wall. So to do that, we come to modify, click on align, and the way align commands you works is that you click your reference, this one, and then you click on where you want to align it to. So like that, it shift that in it there, and then we want to align it with the face of this. So click on the face of that, and then you can lock it in position. So locking, what it means is that it's constraining this there to the wall there. Anytime that this wall kind of shift, it shift with that. All right, let's go to 3D, and then if I rotate the model, you can see our stairs is there, but now the problem we have, there is no opening here. So you need to make an opening for that. For the opening under the architecture, it's pretty simple. Just come to any level, like for example, it's now our stairs, you can see it's here, but there's no opening there. So under the architectural tab here, you can create an opening. So the opening, the way you do it, there are so many ways. You can either modify the already existing floor, or you can come here where we have by face or shaft. If you hover your cursor there, it explains to you what this does. Yeah. So it creates a vertical opening that spans multiple levels. And that is what we want to do. Now here we click at the end point there. So you can sketch, or alternatively, the quickest way we can do, we can just come, select the rectangle, click at the end point there, and you can drag it to that end point there. Once you are done, click on finish, then go to 3D, and then what you want here, you see now it spans up like that. You can drag it down, or can drag it a bit down like that, and then once you are done with that, you can click on empty space. You see now it creates for you that opening there for your staircase. How cool is that? All right, good. That's how you create the stairs. I think now because of time, and after doing that explanation, I think now everything, now you can, once you have the software, because like for instance, you can see on top here, I'm using the student version, which you can download it from Autodesk for free. Like me, I got it for free. You can now experiment other things. There is a lot we can talk about here. There's a lot, even if we cannot even finish what things here. So if you allow me, I want to quickly show you some of the analysis, because that was our aim. We have really deviated a bit, but it's for the benefit of all of us. Yeah. So now for the analysis, there are so many different analyses we can do here in Revit. I'm going to show you a couple of them and some cool things that you can do. So Under the tabs here, we have the architectural and we have so many of them. Under the analysis, if you come here, there's this analysis tab here. If you click on that, this is it gives you now the different types of things that you can do, different analysis. You can do the now for the structural engineers, you can do now things like the compressional stresses and the structural analysis, whereby let's say you are trying to decide on which type of column you are going to use to support your your first floor, the slab on top. Now here is where I'm going to show you all this here. Okay, with time, if time allows. So here you have different things here. You do the loading here, where you because we have dead loads and live loads. Okay, we have those things where the dead load is the load just without anything, and then the live load is where you have with, let's say, people are working on top, so, and all of those stuff. So you need to where, so here boundary condition is where now you tell it that you want the bottom of your column to be static, to be not to move. And then here is where now you assign the loads, the weights, the loading, and then different load cases. Yeah, but we'll look at that. But what I wanted to show you first is a simple analysis, and that is for the path of travel. Like for example here, sometimes you are designing something, and then you maybe sometimes you forget even to put some of the doors, or you want to know, to do some analysis and know that which is the shortest route out of, let's say, a building. Let's say you want to design for an exit emergency door or anything of that sort. So there's this icon known as the path of travel. Let's say, for instance, you want to know which route you will use to travel from the corner of this room here to outside here. So you click on path of travel there, and then it gives you this this tab here, this ribbon. So you click on the first point, and then you want to know which route you will take to travel outside, and then you click on out here. So you want to know the route you will use, so click on outside the door here, and what it will do, it will able to calculate and give you a direction. Look at that. Now it's telling you that for you to reach this place, you will come from here, open this door, come and open through this door and walk along like that. How cool is that? And then sometimes, let's say, we can do another one from this point here. So click there, and you can click, let's say you want to come, let's say, to outside here. Let's be a bit crazy. Look at that. It's showing you will come like that, like that, like that, like that. And then let's say, okay, now I want to also show you something cool here. Now here we want to also to test the intelligence a bit here. Because it has already done the calculation and known that this is the path, that the shortest route that you can take. Let's say now we place this furniture here. If, let's say, move it, and then it obstructs that path here. So what we want to do here is to know uh, how smart it is. So like now, because this was already existing, but now there's some interference here because this seat has moved to the path. Now you need to to see how is it going to behave. So how is it going to behave? You go back to the analyze, and then you update. You do what? You update your path of travel. I don't know why path of travel. I don't know why it's not updating, but after, let's say now you click there. Oh yeah. Now to update your part of travel, so because now this seat is interfering with it, so you only need to click on the already existing line, let's say like this one, and then there's this update here. So if you click on update, you can see now it has detected there's this thing on its way, so it can't take that. So it needs to you need this is like how you will walk, yeah. It's counterintuitive. You can't go through this through that seat there. And you do the same thing here. Click it and then update it. All right, now you see here they kind of go through the same path. Yeah, you have shifted. That's about now the path of travel. And then it's something cool, I like it. And there's something I also need to show you, like how is it able now to distinguish, how is it able to know that how like now there are usually rules, yeah, the rules which have been set, that it's able to know. Because let's say like these doors, when you go to 3D, they are usually closed, yeah. So it has been coded in the sense that it's told that you set the rules such that if it's a door, you are able to open it, yeah. It's common sense, you just open it and then you move through it. So all the controls, like how it's able to know, like how it's able to distinguish between these elements, like such that if it's a seat, move away from it. So it happens here. Under the part of travel here, we have the route analysis. If you click that arrow down there, you can see it gives you this window, and then it tells you, yeah, Revit will never consider the following as obstacles. So hidden elements, demolished elements, or underlay elements. Underlay elements, they are those elements, let's say below let's say like, because let's say we are in first floor, we want the ground floor, so those are the underlaid. And here, in addition, do not consider this model category as obstacles. Something like a door here has been checked because like you will just open a door and then you move around, yeah. That's why it's able to go through doors. And then the other thing here I need to show you at the bottom here, we have the analysis zone in plan. So the analysis zone in plan, what it means that anything of the height, anything of the height more than 2.3 to 2.03 is an obstacle. Anything between from this height, the lowest level, like for example, if it's 20 centimeters height, if let's say you are walking, yeah, you can just walk on top of it, yeah. that's that's small. So if instance for instance here we did check our furniture. If we check furnitures here as an not an obstacle, and then if let me minimize this window here. If we check our furnitures here, so the furniture will not be taken as an obstacle. Like for instance, this seat here will not be considered. So if I click there and you update the part of travel, you see now it goes through the furniture. Yeah? So that's where the control of these things happens. Yeah, that is for the part of travel. Let's go back to analysis and set it back to default how it was, and we uncheck the furniture there like that, then click OK. Yeah, all right, good. I think that is clear now. That's for the analysis. And now the thing I need to show you now is now how do we do the extraction, how do we extract information from our model, because we need information. But before we do that, there was also we were to look at the crash analysis. the crash analysis, that one is kind of short. So the crash analysis, uh, when it comes to now calculating the cost for the materials, yeah, sometimes we will have where things are kind of crashing, yeah. Like for example, because we have already created now our walls here. If we put a column at this point here, let's do that so that you understand what I mean. So by default, it comes with this column here, but this is a steel one, but we don't need that. Uh, we need a concrete one. So we go under the structural framing. So under the structural framing, we want to double click that. Then we want concrete. So concrete rectangular beam. So can scroll down to which you want. So we can use this one, then click open, and then what? It's not accepting that. All right. What we can do, we can come to the component and then place a model. So load family, move. No. Let's go back to concrete. Select that. Open. I don't know why it's not working, but let's go back to, oh no, let's go back to the structural, then select column. Then what we need here is to load, go back a little bit. Yeah, so structural framing, where we were. So the structural framing was here. Double click that, double click on concrete, select the first one. Okay. That, what? Why is it not working? I don't understand it, but let's do this. Because of time, what we'll do now, we need to do some crash analysis, and what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to, let's say for example, move this seat up to now such that it is intersecting the wall there, like that. So for the crash analysis, you go to and the view. It's under the view, I think, not under the view, but it's somewhere here. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's under the collaboration. Yeah, it's called interference check. So we are trying to look at things that are kind of colliding with each other. So interference check, like for instance, we have deliberately moved this one to inside the wall. So if you click on interference, then run interference check. Now here, it gives you this window. Now here we have two categories. Yeah, so what we want to do here is to check. Let's do first of all to see if any of our walls, let's say walls to walls. So you click on wall on the first column here, and then on the second one, like that. Then once you have done that, then click OK. So what you're trying to check here, now here it has run this test, and then it's telling you no interference detected here. Yeah, because if you look at these walls here, they are kind of connected. See, they are kind of, so there's no wall that is interfere. So that one was successful. So if we go back and run another interference check, like now here our wall is interfering with the furniture. So the first column here we check walls, then the second here we check furniture. Then if we click OK, yeah, now you see it gives you this report, and it tells you that your wall, intersecting with this sofa. You see, if I click there, it highlights for you that this furniture is kind of crashing with your your wall there. Now, sometimes the reason why we do this is because you see now when it comes to building information modeling, it's about collaboration. We have the MEP guys, that is the mechanical, electrical, and the plumbing guys. Now, when they are doing their design using the same model, sometimes let's say the electrical or let's say the pipings, they are kind of going through a wall or they're kind of crashing with something else. Yeah. So you need it to control that because these things, when it comes to the actual construction, we can't assume them. So they need to be detected and necessary changes to be made because the aim it should always be crash free. And then once this report has been generated, then you can even export it to and create you can export it to any format that you want. But that's about interference. And then about interference test is that you can do with all of the elements. Like for example, you don't need to do, because this one, for instance, this one we knew it by default, but sometimes you don't know where the interference it's happening. So what you need to do is to check. Yeah. So under selection, you select everything, or you can just select, you tick everything here on this side. Sometimes you cannot see by eye where the interference is happening. So you can just select everything and then click OK. Yeah. And then it will run depending on how big your project is. Yeah, it's able to right now for it has been able to show us even that even our stairs here, it's kind of crashing. So there's these stairs, I think it's the railings that we put, they are going inside our walls there. And you see, and the window, if we click on window here, because window and the stairs here, they are kind of crashing here at this point. Yeah, that's about the crash analysis. Yeah, so you can explore more about this. Yeah, so we are done with that. Then now the other thing I need us to look at is how to do now the things like the energy analysis. Yeah, energy analysis is quite simple also, because now here we need to to okay now okay let's do this, because energy analysis is kind of CPU intense. We will do it at the end. But what I would like us to look at, because it takes quite time, and it usually stops. It makes, like yesterday I was doing something, and there's a building I was kind of designing for some guy there, and it kind of takes a lot of time, and my machine, because it has a really small processor. It's a 1.7 gigahertz, so it kinds of crashes from time to time. But I want us to do it at the end, yeah, the energy analysis. But what we can do now, we can do the cost analysis, yeah, the cost analysis. And all the you guys, you have been waiting for that, how we calculate the cost. Now, okay, what? Okay, so we are back. The cost analysis. Now here you can do the cost calculation for different things. For example, you can do it for the furnitures, that like how much it's going to cost for the different furnitures that you have, for the doors, for the windows, and what, and any other component, yeah, that is in the building. So for designers, so we are going to look at both of them. I would like to start with the simpler one, which is now doing the cost analysis or the cost calculation for for our, let's do for the doors. Let's do for the doors. I think that's one. It's easier. So for doing the cost calculations, you need to create what are known as schedules. Yeah. So schedules, and there are so many ways to which you can get to your schedules. Under the view here, if you go to the view tab here, so here we have this icon here known as schedules, and if you click the arrow down, you are able to do a schedule of quantities, material takeoff. Yeah, we can do for material takeoff like you do for sand, ballast, and all of those stuffs. But now is this here is where you are doing the calculation. It creates a list of sub components or material of any Revit family category. But now for this one, I want us to keep it simple. We look at this. If we talk of schedules, creating schedules is a big topic. We can talk about it for even like 3 hours, just schedules alone. But let's keep it simple. So if you click on schedule here, if you click on schedule here, uh, depending on which things you are concerned with, currently it's showing as a schedule for all the things. Yeah, let's say if you are a structural, you are concerned with just the structural components, you just tick the structural here. If let's say you are a mechanical here, you select. So but now for this case here, uh, we just keep everything selected, and now once everything is selected here, you select what you, and then here you can give your name, the name for the schedule, like the heading for your schedule. Now we want to do the cost of, so you type cost of doors. That is the name of our schedule there. So once you have done that, and then the category you need to select, because there are different elements and system elements and component elements. Now you need to click on door here, and once you click on the door there, it's schedule building component, and then here for the phase, for phase of construction, you can do an existing or new construction, but you can just leave it by default as new construction. Then once you click there, now the schedule now here, because we are doing the calculation now for the cost of the doors, it gives you the available fields associated with the doors. Yeah, like for instance, one of the things we need to calculate the cost. So click on cost, like our schedule is that list, so our list should have cost as one of the elements. So once you select, then you upload it using this green arrow icon here. You shift it to the other side. Then you can also do things like the description. You can explain what your doors are all about, and what else do we need apart from for the cost. We also need um, family and type, because this we have different doors. A door generally, like for example here we have this double flash door and we have a single flash door. So single flash and double flash doors, they belong to a family of generally doors. Yeah, it's like for example in your family, like when we say the Kina Gregory, or the Gregories is the is just the name for that family. But now that family we have like Sister
Are
Gregory.
you saying that I'm a family of doors?
Eh?
Are you saying that I'm a family of doors?
No, no. Like what I'm trying to say is
Mm,
that, like for instance, when you talk of, let's say, Mr. Njuguna or the
yeah,
Njugunas, yeah. So
yeah.
the Njugunas, we have familia ya Njuguna iko na seme Kamau nani 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 nani. So
Oh,
like
oh yeah.
the children like Kamau, the Kamau now is like now that single flash, yeah,
Yeah.
single flash, Kamau and Jane, yeah. So Kamau and Jane now they are called a type, yeah, and now they are classified under DO, generally as DO. So that's how easy I can. That's how you can maybe explain it. Now from there, I think those are just enough. Family type, the description, and the cost. So once we are done with that, let's say you want to sort your schedule. For instance, you want this one to be the first thing, the first list on your column because it's at the bottom here. You can move it up. So move parameter up. So it moves it up on your list, then followed by the cost and the description. Once you are happy with that, click OK. And what it will does, it will create for you this schedule here, showing you the different category. If I expand this like that, once again, now you see that we have the door exterior double glass, wood, whatever. And then here on the cost here, it's empty. And then we have the description here is where you can add your notes of, let's say, what it's all about. Yeah. Now here, if you look at it carefully, let me dock this one to my project there, to our project there. And then it's reminding me to save. Right. Yeah. So sometimes you want it to be next to your project there so that you know which door are you selecting. So to apply cost, there are different ways. You can either click on, let's say, the door there. Once you click on the door under the edit type, if you click on edit type there, and then it gives you this list. Let it not scare you, it's kind of easy. So you just scroll down under the identity data here. So we have this parameter here, cost. So you can, let's say this door is like 5k, 5,000. So you click OK. So once you do that, it updates on your list. So like now that it updates anywhere we use this type of door, anywhere that we use it, it will apply that cost. So you don't need to type for every instance of that door. All right. Yeah. So and then that is one way. And then the other way here, because we have this column here, you can just come click on that column, let's say for this one. So once you click on it, it's able to highlight for you in your model where that door is. It's highlighted there. So this one we can say it is 10,000 there, then click on enter, and then it will tell you that this change will be applied on all elements of the type. Yeah, all the elements where we have this, like the way it has done for this one, so it will do the same thing. So if we click OK, you see now it updates there. And then we have this one. So if we click this one, we can, this one is smaller, so we can make it cheaper, let's say 3,500, like that. Click on enter. Right. Okay. Now it has added all of those stuffs there. Now once you are done with that, what you do now here, because now if you look at your properties browser, whatever we have currently there, it's the schedule. Now here we need to do what is known as doing the total cost. We need to do the summation of these things. Now for cost calculation, we have fields, filter, sorting, and formatting. So under your schedule here where we have sorting and grouping, click on edit and check here grand total. So under grand total here, so we have grand total, it will calculate for you the all the total number of doors that you have there, as well as it will give you at the bottom there the total. And then under formatting, we select cost, and we select cost there, and then under here where it's under where it's currently we don't have, it's set by default no calculation, but we want to calculate the total cost. So to check that, click OK, and then once you do that, you look, you see here we have the grand total. All these are $14, and then the total cost for this one will cost 107,000 shillings. Man, I hope that is not expensive. Yeah, so that's how you do it. That's concerning with the doors. And sometimes, let's say for instance, you can sometimes, let's say if let's say for example this door here, if we click on this door here and it happens that we delete it from our model, it's able to update our list here. You see now, it's because that we have removed that, it's less expensive. Yeah, it's been removed even from our schedules. Yeah, so that's the good thing about Revit. If let's say you are doing it in something like AutoCAD, you will need to also go where you have made your Word document, you manually update that. But these ones, once you have done that, it updates your list. Once it has updated your list, you don't need to worry or anything like of that sort. That is about doors. So the same thing, you can do it with your windows, but now I want us to do something different now. That is now when it comes to construction, where you want to calculate now, let's say how many bricks are you going to use for your building. Yeah, that's very nice, that's very important, um, because you need to tell your client this is how much it's going to how much, this is the number that we are going to need, and then depending from where is going to source the material, is able to know that one brick, let's say, in a cost 30 bob. Yeah, and then you are able to come with that, with the total cost of how much is going to cost. Yeah, let's do another, create a different schedule for that. Let me uh, doc let me remove this one to somewhere there. Yeah, so okay, now we go back to level one. All right, so for calculating cost for walls, we can either do in different ways. We can either calculate it using area, or we can calculate it using volume. So let me show you both ways, and depending on which is easier for you, but you will also need, but there will be differences in the sense that if let's say we take the approach of area, area only applies, let's say, where you have uniform wall thickness. Yeah, uniform wall thickness like these exterior walls and all of those stuff. But sometimes area will not work, for example, where you have, let's say, your interior, they are kind of thinner, where let's say like the out you use the 9-inch wall, and then inside here you use the 6. So that method you can't apply, so you need to do by volume. But okay, let's move this one inside there. All right, now for area for calculation of the material by area, so you just go under here, view. So under schedule here, you can click schedule quantities, and then here we want to do calculation concerning our walls. So scroll down where you have walls. Where do we have walls? Walls are here at the bottom. So click on wall, and then you can just leave it as by default like that, or you can edit it like I showed you. So click OK there. And now here we have different properties of calculating, like for example, now these ones we call them fields. So there are different fields here. So we need area for our schedule. We try with area, and then I will show you about by volume. So by area, what we want to do here, let me explain. a bit. Yeah. By area, we want to look at the each area of wall, and then we assign the cost of a unit. Let's say a unit squared of that area. Let's say, because you sometimes you are able, let's say, if you're using a plastered wall, you might, let's say like 1 meter by 1 meter, it will cost me this. Yeah, 1 meter squared is this. Yeah, and then you are able to assign, let's say, 1 meter squared, it will cost like, let's say, 10,000, depending. So sometimes you need to go to the ground to know all these stuff. So click on area, upload that field. Then we need the family, the family and type, because family and type, we have different families of walls. Then what else can we need? uh, Area, or then we need the cost here. Upload that to the other side. Then we sort our list. Let's move this one on top, followed by area, then the cost. So, and then we need the total to calculate the total cost, because this area, it's the general, like, let's say, for example, this wall here. So it will give us the area of that wall. And then the cost here is the cost per unit segment. Yeah, the cost per unit segment. But now we need to take the area multiplied by the unit cost for a small area. Then once we multiply, then we sum up everything. Then after doing the summation, it will give us now the total how much for that face, for that wall. Now, for that, you need to create a formula. So there's this the formula that will now do the total calculation. So click on FX. You can give it the name. Let's say the total walls, because we have different walls cost. Yeah, like that. Then discipline here, you can leave it as common. Then here we need. We can let's set it to currency, because that is money. We need to calculate type currency. Then our formula here, if you click on formula here, it has detected that we have these two fields. We have area. So you click on area, then okay. So we need to take that area multiplied by, so shift, you multiplied by, click on this dotted icon, then click on cost, then okay. Now here we need, now this is area times cost. Your units will be, if this will be meter squared shillings. Yeah, so you need to remove that squared, because we need just, so to remove that one, you need to divide by, so divided by 1 meter, 1 meter raised to power what, to power 2, like that. Then click OK. All right, so that's our new parameter. Sometimes you can create an instance parameter, but an instance parameter you do by calculation by volume. So click on OK. All right, so once you've done that, it gives you this. It gives you this schedule. But now here there is a problem. The problem we have is that our units currently here, we need to convert the units. So type units, UN, go back to, let's say, level 1, type units. Then the units here for area, you see currently they are set as SF. Now what we need to do here, square feet, SF is for square feet, but we need ours to be in let's say squared centimeters, and then we suppress, can put it to do decimal places, then we suppress any zeros in case they appear. Then for currency we can do what? For currency, okay, we don't have Kenyan here. Kenyan currency. Do we have? But we can just use the dollar simple there. Then you can do your conversion depending. So once you are done with that, if you go to this schedule, now you can see the units have been updated to centimeters kind of. So let's move this schedule to here. Now here what I want us to do is, because we created, you see now here we don't have this field, we have nothing here. The reason why we have nothing here because is we have total cost, which is the area you see this one is blank because we don't have this. Yeah, this column is a prerequisite of this. We have not assigned the cost for each particular type of wall. So if let's say you click on this wall here, it has been selected there, so you can apply the cost here. Let's say this one we can say per cent per centimeter square. Is it okay? But let's say per centimeter squared it's costing, let's say 30 shillings. Yeah, 30 shillings. 30 shillings. Let's say because you are using
Oh,
dollars, we could just say 0.3. Yeah.
Jeff,
Yes.
there's a question here.
Yeah.
We've created the wall schedule. It's got here.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
But there's a problem
Mm.
because we can't access the floor plan that we are working with. So how do we go about it?
Oh, you are also doing it on your side, yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing it on my side.
Or you can't access the?
Okay, I don't know. Once we've created the wall schedule that is going to
Yes.
give us
Yes.
the cost based on the area of the walls that we are using,
Mm-hmm.
then that process is complete. But now it's giving us the wall schedule on the screen, but we can't access the floor plan like you are accessing yourself. We don't know how we're going about it, and we don't want to close it.
How you move, let's say, this schedule to your floor plan, Ama?
I know how you move from the
Uh-huh.
schedule tab go back to the floor plan tab without deleting the schedule tab.
Oh, that one is quite easy. So what you do,
Yeah,
let's go back, yeah. So what you do, because like you have created now here, you want to bring it to one of your levels. So what
yeah,
you do, you see where I'm hovering my cursor on top of on this tab here. So you just click it, hold
uh-huh.
it down, then you drag it, yeah. So when
Okay,
you drag it, you can drag it. Let's say you have different levels, yeah. If I
yeah,
come near where we have 3D here, it will move it to 3D. But you want to move it to, you see, if you move it near where the level one here is there. You see where there is my
mm,
level one,
yeah,
and when you move it near there, it kind of gives you this kind of display. So you let
mm,
go, yeah.
okay.
What? Imefanya kweli?
At least it's still showing the floor plan, so I think it may work.
Or it's still
Oh,
showing the
yangu
plan?
sasa unauliza yangu
Eh, have you
yangu
tried?
yangu sipatio tab ya kushift hizo levels, so I don't know, maybe kuna settings mbaya hapo.
You are not, you don't have the, okay.
Hapa kwa
And
kuclick levels
uh-huh.
naweza navigate na browser, the project browser, cause nimeiweka huko kwa the far left. Naweza tumia hiyo.
Yeah, you can use that one. Yeah, you can
Uh-huh.
go to different levels there. And then
Okay.
once you see, once you open, let's say your level, let's say come on
Yeah.
level 2. Let me
Uh-huh.
go back. No, it's, if I go back, it's kind of deleting my schedule. Now, okay. This, so if let's say I try to move it at the end there. Okay, now this is what I mean. Let's say if you have this project browser on your side
Yeah.
here. Let's
Yes.
say if you want to reference this cost to level 1, yeah. So if you
Yeah.
double click on level 1, it will
Yeah.
open that level. Sindio?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after opening this level, so you
Yes.
see there's that wall schedule that you have created, yeah?
Yeah, I have
That is
seen it.
on one of the tabs there. So you just
Yes.
click on it, then
Yeah.
click, click on it, then you drag to your project there. Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So once
Yeah,
you
I
do
get.
that, it's kind of big. You can also minimize it a
Yeah.
bit like that, such that you have, let's say, appearing next. Yeah. You
Okay.
may get, yeah.
Yeah, nimepata.
Sawa sawa. So now here we need to apply now because our schedule, if we scroll here up, so if we click on this wall here, we can, let's say this was 30 bob, so we can give it, say, 0.3, then click enter. The changes here, click on OK, then they will update. Now I want you to look here. You see now here we used one type of wall with the same thickness, and then what it does, it applied. Yeah, you see now the way it's doing the calculation, it's taking this 0.3 multiplied by our, it's taking that and then multiplying by square. I don't know does it make sense ama ni mimi naona vitu zangu. Like we were to take, does it make sense? Okay, but generally this was, let's, okay, I will look at it later, but what is it's supposed to take, it's supposed to take this area multiplied by this cost, then give us the total. That number, I don't know whether it makes sense, but whatever we are getting there, let's just leave it because of time. We don't really have much time left, but you can experiment. So right here, what we have this schedule here, and now what we can do at the bottom there, we can and the other thing, if you look at these walls, for instance, now here, you see it is repeating itself. Yeah, it's 8-inch basic wall, generic 8-inch, so it's repeating itself. Yeah, and here we only have one type of thing, so we can make our list smaller. So you go to your formatting here, under formatting, not under formatting, but under sorting. You see now this itemize, under sorting and grouping, we have this itemize every instance. It's checked, yeah? So you need to uncheck that. So if you uncheck that and click OK, your schedule becomes smaller. So it has removed those duplicates. But now the problem is that okay, let's go back. So that's how you kind of remove this duplicates. But if we go back to that and then sorting and group, we click grant total. So now here what we want to do is to calculate the total, because we need to calculate the total because these are just same walls. Under formatting, no calculation is grayed out. So we need to click on cost, total wall cost. We need to calculate the total wall cost. So under formatting, select that. Then it's no calculation, set by default, no calculation. Then you need to click to calculate the totals, then okay. So if you do that, it will do, it will calculate the total area of those walls, then multiplied by 0.3, then gives you this. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's one of the other way. I don't know whether we can do the other one, but that's how you do it. But there's also another one for calculating the cost using so sometimes after you are done with your cost calculation here, so you need to remove this, so you kind of move it to the side, yeah, to the end there, and then it doesn't interfere with your drawing. All right. I don't know. We have some time, like about 8 minutes. I don't know whether we can try the energy simulation. Okay, let's try with some energy simulation here. For you to do energy simulation analysis, where you need to calculate how much like it costs to the cost of the bill, the electricity bill to heat your house for, or how much energy will be required for your building. So what you need to do is, first of all, you need to create rooms, yeah, rooms. So under the architectural tab, you need to create rooms. So like this room is different from this, yeah. So to create rooms, what you do under the architectural tab here, we have the room icon here. So click on room. So once you are done here, your cursor comes with this, and then you can check this tag on placement, or you can uncheck it. So if you uncheck it, it will come with no tag, but if tag on placement, it comes with this tag. Then you see, anywhere we have these walls act as the room bounding element. They limit where they are kind of boundaries. So you can click there. So that's one room. Then there's another room here, and another room here, and then there's this room here, 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 and there. Then once you have created this room, you can give them descriptive names. Like this one, we can call it the living room. Living room, like that. Enter. Then you do the same thing to these others, but I'm just going to leave them like that because of time. But you get the point how you rename them. Then once you are done with that, then you have created your rooms. Sometimes you want to give them different annotations, like caroling for presentation. I think I also showed this how you did in the first session, but I'm going to repeat. So under you go to the view tab, not really the view tab, but under the annotation, I think it's there. Yeah, under the annotation, we want to apply different color fields. So here we have color field legend. Click on that, and then by default, so it gives you this no color scheme assigned to the view. So you need to place this where you want it to appear. Then once you click it. So so like here we want to apply colors with respect to the rooms, not spaces. Yeah. So you need to select rooms here, and color scheme, we can give it by name. Yeah, because we don't, there's another topic about departments, but that's later on maybe. Then once you are done with that, then what it will do, it will apply these kinds of colors. But we have different rooms, but this is how you do it. But you can also modify to, if let's say we had given, because see now what it's doing here is that we only, these other things here, they have the same name as room. Yeah, that's why it's applying the same color here. If we had named them, given them descriptive names, it would have been able to distinguish and give different colors here. But that one you can do it at your free time, and do it yourself. All right, so now we want to do energy analysis. So energy analysis, like whenever you are heating, let's say you are a room, yeah, it's being warmed up and all of that stuff. So that energy is distributed not on a surface, but on a volume, because a room is a volume. Yeah. So once you do the setting here for your rooms here, currently these rooms are resting on the surface. Yeah. So you need to change, you come back to the architectural here. So once you come here, there's this room and area. Yeah, click down, click that arrow down there. Then there's this option for area and volume computation. Yeah, click on that. You see currently it's this computation, it's doing the computation with respect. Yeah, volumes are computed to finish surface, but in our case we need to compute it with respect to area, because energy distributed is terms of volume. Yeah, then this one we leave it by default, then click OK. All right, so once you are done with that, if let's say we created a section view to preview, for sectioning views, what you do is, so you come to the architectural tab, or sometimes the section, yeah, it's on top of your quick access, on your quick access toolbar here. So there's this eye icon here, so click on that. So we need to create a section, a kind of a cut through that point, then cancel. Then if you want to preview, to look from this side going in this direction, so you double click on that section, then you are able to see your building with respect to that. Yeah, so and then if we have created rooms, but we cannot see those rooms from this view. It's because there's something known as visibility graphics. Okay, visibility graphics, what it does, so visibility graphics, the shortcut for that, you need to type VG, or sometimes it's here under your manage. So if you go to your manage tab here, if you click on it, then we have visibility graphics. It should be sometimes. I'm used to using the shortcut key, but you can look at unaweza itafuta mahali iko. Yeah, and the reason why, okay, so under the visibility graphics, so what visibility graphics is that, from a what it does is that it's like, for example, when you are doing AutoCAD, you are using layers. The concept of layers, was that you can either turn on or switch. Like, it's like the way you are doing it in Fusion 360. There's that bulb icon here, so like you turn it on or off. Let's say, for instance, what I mean by visibility graphics is that, like, for instance, in this view, and visibility graphics only switches on and off elements from a certain view. So in this view, if let's say we VG, type VG there, let's say we don't want to see our furnitures, what you do, where you have your furnitures, you untick it and then click apply, then OK. You see our furnitures, they are kind of hidden from our view. Now, now the point I was trying to bring in, the reason why you don't see the rooms that we have created here, and then it's because their visibility graphics is by default set to off. So let's go back and check our furniture, but scroll down to where you have your rooms. Rooms, where do we have rooms? Yeah. So, and then there's this plus icon, expand that. Then the only thing that is checked is the color fill. So we need to check also the interior fill and the reference, so that we can see it from this view. So OK, and apply. You see now it's able to, it gives us this fill here. Now this is the room that we created. Now we can see it from this section here. And then we want to calculate, so you can drag it upwards such that it extends to this floor that we have created here. But now in this case, I want to make the computation easier, because the PC can crash anytime. But once you have them there, once they are created there, you go back to the analyze. Under the analyze here, you can set your location. So you can set the location to which you are going to do this project. So the location the location where you are constructing the building. So it takes some time. By default, it's set to Boston, but but you can look for your. So the reason why we set the location is that, you see, we have weather stations. So what it will do, it will be able to, because if you have your internet access, it will be able to gather information from those weather locations, from those stations near your projects. Yeah. And then it will be able to apply them to your project. Yeah, like how cold that area is, how warm it is, they will be coming in by default. Yeah. And then you can set anything there, but let's leave it by default to be that Boston. And you can search for your area. So once you are done with that, then you need to create what is known as an analytical model. That is the model that for your energy analysis. So once you click that, it will tell you are about to create an energy analytical model that will take considerable time, which Revit will not be accessible. So once you start creating your model, you cannot do anything, because you cannot do anything. Yeah. And that's why I wanted us to do this at the end of the session, because it usually takes some time. Then you can, it's reminding me to save the project. And then let's wait a bit. It's saving as well as wait. But before that, let's go one step back. And there's something I didn't set here. So the other thing you need to set is the, okay, there was quick.
Jeff,
So you need to do is,
let me interrupt you. Your screen has frozen. We are still on the visibility graphic overrides.
oh,
Yeah,
okay, let
your
me stop
screen.
sharing and go back. What? It froze. Let me try to share again. Right now, what are you what are you seeing a different screen?
Yeah, we are on the link section.
Okay. I'm
Or the
trying to
site.
zoom in and zoom out. Can you see the
Yeah,
zooming in and
like
out?
it has zoomed
Okay.
in and out.
Now good. So now here, what you, after now, I was, so the visibility graphics there, you saw we turned on our rooms because we needed to see them from this section view. And now we did you guys see like how you, so once you have turned your rooms on, you need to set the location. So the location under the analyze tab here, you set the location for your project. So you click there and you do this, you say where you are going to build this building on, and then you click on energy settings. So on the energy settings here, there are a lot of stuffs, but I'm going to make it simpler to understand. Under the energy settings, so we have this by default, but we have other options here. So under the other options, click on edit. Then here is where you select the type of building that you are building. Is it an office? Is it a parking garage or anything here? But now in our case, this was a family house. So you scroll to, you select, why am I not seeing? It's as, okay, we can call it a single family house. And the building operations. So is it the building operations where you select the time to which the building is under use? So it's, let's say we can set it to be, because people will be living there 24/7, so we can make it on. Then HVAC systems, here you can select the types that you have used in your building. But now this one, we are going to do the heating and ventilation. So click on it, then okay, okay. Then once you are done, there is where now you create your energy model. So you click on create energy model, and then it will tell you are about to create an energy model, which takes time. which takes time, of course. Yeah, it's intense, but because these are small project, yeah, so it has been able to. So this analytical model for our energy model for our building. So once you are done with that, you click on generate. Yeah, so generate it generates, it does the computation under on the cloud, and then so under the on the cloud, such that the computation sometimes your PC cannot handle. And then here it's telling you the energy analytical model may be out of date. If let's say you had done an energy analysis for some other project, like there was the one I was doing yesterday, you need to update now. You click on update, then it will do the updating. And then it's telling me that Revit could not find the analytical space necessary for energy simulation. Okay, so it seems that we have quite a problem here, and that is because the analytical model, I kind of saw it, but I ignored it. Now here, these ones, we should extend them a bit up like that, and extend them up to the level 3 there. So here we need a couple of views. Let's go to level 1 so that we can kind of create another section view. That's not how we want it to be. So come and create another section view here. It's kind of slanting, but let's try it. Delete that one. Okay. Don't know why there's kind of slanting, but want it vertical there. All right, so click on that view, then go to visibility graphics to turn on the rooms so that you can see them. Rooms, extend rooms there, interior color field, then click apply, then OK. Then it gives you this. You can now drag it up, drag it up. So what we are doing here is, you see, this energy analysis was just for the lower floor. So we are trying it to extend it to the first floor, like the same effect that you are getting here. They will kind of be the same things on your upper floor. And then once you are done with that, you can go, let's say, to 3D view. Then on your 3D view, go to the analyze. You set your location. Okay, we're just going to leave it by default, but let's click on energy analysis to create an energy. What? This one is not going to work. I think there's a problem somewhere. Okay, the way an energy model looks like, because of time, I don't know why it's not working. Sometimes it doesn't. Like yesterday, it kind of failed. But let me look at some of the samples that I have to show you how it looks like. Because if we try again here, it's not going to. Let me look at it. I had some samples here. Where did I store that? It's on my desktop. But I had an energy model. Let's go to Revit. I had a PDF for that. I'm trying to locate it. Let me see. For my downloads. Let me see. Let me see whether I can find it here. Ooh, ooh. Right. So I kind of know I can't find it, but the way it usually works is that after you do create an energy mode. This one is kind of, I don't know why it is misbehaving, but it has failed one time. But
Jeff.
what you usually do, yes, maybe
I
maybe
think
just.
on the energy,
Mm.
we can continue from there if we do have another session, because it's already
Yeah,
2 hours and guys get tired. I can see you also getting tired, so it's understandable.
yeah, I cannot see where
Yeah.
it's. Yeah,
I just have
but it's
one
okay. Yeah.
question. Isn't the
Mm-hmm.
energy dependent on, like, let's say the MEP stuff? Let's say you want to find the maybe energy in terms of the amount of heat that will be used to determine the amount of electricity. Isn't it dependent on the MEP stuff that has been designed on the building, like the vacuums and all that stuff, or is it independent of those other components?
Yeah, I think you have a point there. It's usually dependent on the components that you have. Like now, for example, you see where we selected the HVACs, yeah. So
Yeah.
you HVAC systems, although they were not inside our model, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's dependent. Sometimes you can place them, or sometimes you can you can do it without placing it. But you say that you are going to use them. But the best approach, I think, yeah, where
Yeah.
sometimes it's usually that one, but yeah, you just place them. You can even put your lighting there and all of those stuff. Yeah, I think, but those things we didn't actually place them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it can work. It can work even without placing them there. But we will try. I have never tried the other way, but I think if we try that one, it might work.
Yeah. So I think we will continue with that next time.
Okay, I also
Wait.
have a question.
Yes.
We were working on a different floor plan, definitely from yours,
Yes.
and it was a hexagon.
Okay.
So the stairwell had a 120-degree angle.
The stairs.
So now we were trying to make a staircase that follows that profile. Definitely the stairs in the Revit, the ones that have been provided, cannot fit that. So I ended up making mine, but I don't know how to now bring it now to function in the floor plan. So the staircase is a different component from the floor plan that I'm making. So how do you import that into the into your project? That is, even if it's other uh, designed elements, you can have some maybe furniture from Fusion. How do you bring that into a project?
Okay.
That's the question, I think.
Yeah. So how you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me try to show you. Let's go back to Revit. Share. Let's say we are in 3D. What you do, if you
Yeah.
have created it in let's say, even if you create it in another software or anything, there
Yeah.
is this option here known as insert. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
click on insert, so you can insert. Okay, let's say if you created, let's say, in that staircase with Revit, but it's kind of, so you can link a Revit file, or if, let's say, you did it in another kind of software, you can import the card. Yeah, so if you click on
Okay.
import it, you
Yeah.
can you can just import it from where it is, yeah, to your
Yeah.
project. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know whether I have answered your question.
I'll try that, I think, because mine
Oh,
is in a file in the same laptop. I guess
Uh-huh.
I will have to work with insert from file. I think so.
Yeah, you just insert. As long as you see, sometimes also whenever you're designing those staircase, you need
Mhm.
to consider. Let's say you might just import it, but sometimes it is smaller than
Yeah.
you. So you need to take into consideration your levels. Yeah, how high
Okay.
it is. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and then
I'll
you
try
create.
that.
Once you have brought it, then you can cut material then to fit your shape.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you. I believe we've agreed that we'll continue later. So essentially, we are done, isn't it, Jeff, for today?
Yeah, essentially we are done. There's a lot, by the way, we can really talk about. Even like structural analysis now. We didn't look at those. There's a lot, Maze, but those are
Yeah.
things you can just also learn on your own. There's a lot of tutorials online. You can check out the Barkan Architect. That's
Mm-hmm.
my tutor who usually teaches me. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Barkan Architect is a nice guy who knows a lot of these stuff.
Okay, I think can you just type that on the chat section so that guys can
Yeah,
see the
I
spelling? Yeah.
can type that.
Yeah. So thank you, Jeff, for the presentation. It's always we're always happy and we're always grateful for your effort to come and share your knowledge. No, it's not a must, but you always create time for that. So thank you. So just quickly, in 1 minute, I want to invite. See, we have two, three more guys. Yeah. So quickly, just want to invite the rest to just comment one or two things, or but briefly. Kate, just comment, say something, and then we continue. We wind up 30s. Kate, Kate, can you hear me? All right. Brian, I teach. If you can hear me, Brian. All right. Eric, do you have anything to comment before we wind up? Okay. Okay. So I don't think I'm the one who's having a problem. Fred, can you hear me? Can you comment something before we wind up? Fred?
I can hear you.
Yeah, just comment something briefly so that we can wind up.
Okay. Actually, I got disconnected at the final minutes of the MC, so I don't know what you have spoken about. Yeah, but it was successful though. The numbers I still see they are real. So I think we should do something about that.
Okay. So that is
Yeah.
noted. We need to work on how to increase the numbers. Okay, so because of time, I think we'll have to end up there. So once again, thank you guys for attending, the guys who've attended, and also for the guys who I'm hoping will watch this recorded session. I'm hoping that as all Sisi Water, like we will